Happy Wednesday, everybody. Super excited to be here and I'm really glad to be doing a live stream with you all. So, for those of you guys who are joining, pop on, say hello. I have a really exciting topic that I'm thrilled to be chatting with you guys about. So, I know that we need to wait a moment for YouTube to give folks the notification that I am live. But for those of you guys who do not know me, my name is Christine Haranik. I am the owner and founder of Gauge Girl Training, an online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist, I'm an author, and a chemical engineer. Hello, Monica. Welcome, welcome. Please give the live stream a thumbs up and thank you all for being here. Today, we are going to talk about why you are not seeing progress with your fat loss. And this is a really important topic because there are a lot of folks, if you're watching this, there's a lot of people out there who are disappointed. Hey, what's up, Susan? You're disappointed. You feel like nothing's working. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you're in a rut and you don't know what to do about it. Before you go off the deep end, before you start doing something extreme, I want to give you guys some very serious and realistic things that I want you to check first. So, the first thing, my friends, is if it cannot be measured, it cannot be improved. If you are not actively tracking your progress in a measurable form outside of weighing yourself is insufficient to truly gauge your progress. Meaning, are you taking progress photos? Are you doing your measurements of your bust, your shoulders, your arms, your thighs, your hips, your waist, the smallest part of your waist, as well as the navel, the thighs, the calves? Like, are you actively doing those measurements? Hey, what's up there, Marlene? Are you doing those measurements? Are you taking progress photos? Have you ever had your body fat measured? Have you ever had your hormones assessed? Have you measured your fasting blood glucose? Do you know your A1C levels? Have you checked your triglycerides? Do you know your cholesterol? Like, do you have these markers of health documented? Or are you just arbitrarily bitching and moaning, saying that you're bloated, saying that nothing's working when you're not documenting or measuring anything? It is my number one pet peeve. It is the number one thing I see people complain about all the time, and it's nothing's changing. Hey, what's up, Deanna? Nothing's changing, but you're not documenting anything. So if it cannot be measured, it cannot be improved. That's number one. Take baseline photos, front, side, and back, sports bra and booty shorts, underwear. Take a legit, in good lighting, progress photo so you can see what you're dealing with. And I know progress photos suck, but what I'm trying to tell you guys is if you don't have any way to measure what's going on, there is no way for you to know the impact of what you are doing. That's number one. Number two, you have to commit to a training program. I think a lot of people look at exercise as something recreational, and that's wonderful. People look at going to the gym as, you think you stepped into the gym and that's good enough. I see people at the gym. I know tons of people who are gym goers, who go to the gym all the time. Maybe you love the gym. The gym isn't like my favorite thing to do, I'll be honest with you. I go for the results, but it is not my favorite use of time. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I'll do it. I will do it and I'll get done what needs to get done. But here's my point. Are you following a workout plan? Are you following a workout plan that supports progressive overload? If you say, I want to tone, I want to gain lean muscle mass, but yet you're not writing down your weights, you're not following progressive overload, you're not on a lifting regimen and routine, you just go in there, do whatever. Now, granted, something is better than nothing. So I'm not trying to discourage anyone who is in the beginner phases. I'm not trying to discourage anybody who has fallen off track and is getting back on it. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the people who are like, okay, I really want to commit to my goals. I really want to see changes. I am ready to commit. I want to know why I'm not seeing results. It's because you're not following a workout routine. You need to commit to a routine. You need to go into the gym with a game plan. It's like going into the kitchen. Picture you're trying to bake a cake and you're trying to bake a cake and you have a butter and sugar and eggs and flour, but you don't have a recipe. Like you don't know what proportions to put in there. Guys, weight training regimens work. They are set up in such a way for a reason. And you cannot duck the fundamentals. And I want to bring you guys back to the basics today. I want to bring you guys back to the basics. Again, number one, the reasons why you're not seeing results. Number one, you're not documenting anything. You're not taking your baseline photos and measurements. You don't have any markers of health. Your weight is an insufficient gauge of progress. I'm telling you guys, your weight alone is not an adequate gauge of progress. And then number two, you need to be following a structured weight training plan. Now, you don't need to be doing it in the gym. You can do it at home, but you have to commit to how many days a week are you going to work out. You need to commit to a structured routine that supports progressive overload. And if you are watching this and you're like, Christine, I'm not doing those things. Well, guess what? That's great news. Why is that great news? Because there's low-hanging fruit. There is low-hanging fruit. There are plenty of things that you can start doing now. And that's a really big deal, because it'd be one thing if you are doing all the things, you're doing them well, you're doing them right, but yet nothing's changing. If you're not even doing these basics, you cannot expect to see progress, like real progress. And the thing is, you guys, what is progressive overload? For those of you guys who don't know or have never heard this term before, progressive overload training involves gradually increasing the weight that you are using, increasing the intensity or the difficulty of your workouts over time. If you are not gradually increasing the intensity and the duration or the difficulty of your workouts, you will not see results. You have to challenge yourself. You have to make it harder. You have to write down your weights. You don't have to be doing better than me. You don't have to be doing better than whatever TikToker or Instagrammer. You don't have to be doing better than anybody but yourself. It is you versus you, and you have to be documenting it. You have to be recording it. Now, number three. You guys ready for it? You guys ready for tip number three, why you're not seeing progress? I'm getting ready for you guys to start throwing the tomatoes at me. Are you guys ready? Does anyone want to guess? Does anyone want to guess the third reason why you're not seeing progress? Can I please have some guesses from the live stream? I'll tell you guys. You guys aren't going to want to hear it. All right, you ready? The reason, number three. Oh, not eating right is in there. Don't get me wrong. We'll get into that. But here's the reason. Alcohol. Alcohol, 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 alcohol. Everything you guys said is a factor, and I'll get into each one of those, but alcohol. Who watching this struggles with parting ways with alcohol? There are, throw the tomatoes at me. Throw them. I know you're all not going to want to hear that. I know it's football season, Sunday fun day, all those things. My goodness, you could find an excuse to drink any day of the week. But alcohol, it's not because of the sugar. It's not because of the sugar. If it was just the sugar, I can deal with that. Alcohol is a poison. I repeat, alcohol is a poison. Your body cannot store alcohol, which technically is ethanol. It's ethanol. Your body cannot store ethanol. There is no functional use for ethanol in your body. Your body automatically recognizes it as a poison, and your body pauses all other metabolic processes in order to focus on getting the ethanol out of your system. So what happens? That means that fat loss is paused. Fat loss is paused for 48 to 72 hours. I'm not even talking about calories right now, friends. I'm talking about the metabolic biochemical pathways are paused until the alcohol is fully out of your system. It is hands down The worst thing you can do if you're trying to lose weight. It is the worst things you could do. I would rather have you guys eat cake. I would rather have you guys eat sugar. I would rather you eat chips. I would rather you drink every alcohol every once, so it's no big deal. Good, and I'm glad to hear that. But for others, it's a social thing. For others, it's a comfort thing. For others, it's a thing to relax. For others, it's a thing that they turn to when they're stressed. There's a lot of reasons people turn to alcohol, and I'm not here to judge. I love a drink every now and then. But what I'm here to tell you is alcohol pauses your body's ability to metabolize fat, stored body fat, for 48 to 72 hours. It is the worst thing you can do if you're trying to lose weight. Yes. Now with the shots, yes, it's less alcohol. Yes, it's less sugar. It's better. It's definitely better. I'll be honest with you. A shot is better than a beer. It's better than wine from a caloric standpoint, from a sugar standpoint, but it's still the same thing. It is still the same thing. So you have to really ask yourself, how badly do I want this? Because you could be sabotaging all of your hard work by drinking. All right, the next thing is nutrition. Let's get into it. What's a good drink to get at a bar that's not alcoholic if you want to hang with friends? Ooh, love that one. So Pamela, this is what I do. I either do tea, I do hot tea, I'll do black coffee, and I hate to say this, you guys know I'm not about the energy drinks and all that good stuff, but I will do like a Diet Coke. I will do a sugar-free Red Bull on occasion. Is it possible to reverse diabetes? The answer is yes. But I will either go for like diet beverages. Club soda with lime is good because people think you're drinking anyway. Club soda with lime is a good one. Diet Coke is a good one. Coffee or tea is a good one. And I'm telling you guys, you're not missing out on anything. If anything, you can still have fun. Your tab is less. And the thing is, you don't feel like shit. You're not tired. You can still train. Now, coconut water, there's nothing wrong with coconut water. That's a great option. It is high in carbs, and you just have to be mindful of where that falls within your daily carb allowance. Now, the next thing is nutrition, my friends. Do not come at me bitching about your progress if you are not tracking your macros. I will not talk to you. I will not deal with you if you're not tracking your macros, you're not tracking your calories. If you're just trying to tell me, hey, Christine, I'm eating clean. Christine, I'm trying to eat good. That is not good enough. Not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. I don't know who needs to hear it. It's not good enough. If it cannot be measured, it cannot be improved. How do you know how many calories you're eating in a day? My biggest problem when I experienced my breakthrough with my progress 13 years ago, what was it? It had nothing. Guys, I used to be a marathon runner. I used to run 50, 60, 70 miles a week. Guys, I would run at least 8 miles Monday through Friday. Then I would do 15 plus miles every Saturday. And you would think with all that cardio, you would think I would be teeny tiny. I wasn't teeny tiny because I ate like a freaking horse. I ate like an animal. I felt so justified, and I ate healthy foods, you guys. I was eating chicken. I was eating vegetables. I was eating rice. I was eating yogurt. Like, I wasn't eating anything that you would consider bad. I was not eating any chips. I wasn't eating cereal. I was doing oatmeal. Like, guys, the thing is, you cannot compete with what you eat. So I don't care how healthy you eat. I don't care if you shop at Whole Foods. I don't care if you shop at, I don't care where you shop. You have to have an idea of how many calories you're consuming per day, because until you dial in that energy balance, you will not see progress. You won't. And it is the honest to goodness truth. And for those of you guys who are fighting this, be honest with me. For anyone watching this by a show of hands, maybe you're fighting this. And I fought it for so long. I didn't want to pay attention. I knew I was overeating. I didn't want to look at the reality of the situation. I didn't want to know how bad it really was. I thought that if I tracked my food, it would stress me out. I thought that, man, why do you got to do all this? Why do you got to track all these things? Like, I would bitch and moan and complain. Oh, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the audiobook. I would complain more than anyone combined, you guys. So trust me, you can't out-complain me. I understand how at first it can feel like the worst. Why do I gotta track all this shit, right? But then I realized, wait a minute. Tracking is an opportunity to improve. Tracking is an opportunity to see how much you really are eating. Because like, it's really hard to make changes if you have no idea what you're dealing with. It's literally, if I was gonna help you guys, it would literally be like a shot in the dark. It would be like trying to find your way somewhere with the lights off. Imagine that, like the sun and the moon, and imagine the earth with no light, and you're trying to get from point A to point B. Counting macros is like turning the lights on. I could be like, oh, okay. Well, the reason why you're not seeing progress is because you're eating 3,000 calories a day. The reason why is because you're getting over 300 grams of carbs per day. The reason why is, hey, you only ate 40 grams of protein. The reason why is like, the thing is, you guys, you have to remember macros. Hey, what's up, Margie? Macros is like turning on the lights. And if you're trying to go from point A to point B, imagine trying to do that in the dark. Imagine trying to drive with no headlights at nighttime. No headlights, no lights, no street lights. Imagine that. And the thing is, macros is turning on the lights. And the beauty of this is it takes all of the bullshit out of the equation, because as a nutritionist, as a food scientist, I'm a chemical engineer, you guys, I cannot stand the fact that social media has allowed anybody with a following to act like an actual nutrition expert when they know nothing about science. It irritates me to no end. So many people can be like, oh, eat this because of that. Like, it has no bearing on science. But the thing is, macros is actually based on science. And for those of you guys who don't know what macros is short for macronutrients. They are foods that your body requires in large quantities. It is what makes up the caloric content of food. All food is either a protein, a carb, or a fat. There are 3 macros, and that's it. That's it. And the thing is, macros is the ultimate tool. It is the ultimate GPS guide to navigate you to your goal. The reason why you are not at your goal is because what you are eating and what your body needs are not aligned. When those needs are aligned, you are unstoppable. You are absolutely unstoppable. And for those of you guys who have followed my programs, those of you guys who have read my book, and if you do not have a copy of my book, it's on sale on Amazon right now, Unlock Your Macro Type. All of the science is explained here. It's in hardcover, it's an ebook, it's an audio book. It is a steal. This is only $19.99. There's meal plans in here, there's recipes, there's quizzes. It's an insanely amazing guide. And here's the thing, my friends. Macros is like turning on the lights. And until you surrender to this process and say, you know what? I need to accept the fact that how I am eating is probably not aligned with what my body needs. If you have no idea what your current calories are, if you have no idea what your current macros are, regardless of whether or not you track, you're eating something. You're eating a certain amount of calories every day. You're eating a certain amount of protein every day. You're eating a certain amount of fat, and you're eating a certain amount of carbs. Use that information to guide your journey. Guys, it is the greatest gift. The fact that we have apps where we can track any food, the fact that foods can now be broken down into the caloric content that they are made up of. You guys, do you understand, in the early 90s, this didn't exist. Before like 1995, this did not exist. It existed scientifically, but the means to be able to index foods in this manner did not exist. It is the most amazing tool, because you know what? You will never, ever, ever feel like you're on a diet when you're tracking macros. And the reason for that is because you can eat essentially anything. Now, there are going to be some of you guys who can't consume certain foods due to inflammation, due to food intolerances. That's one thing. Hey, what's up, Erica? But nothing's off limits. It's all about learning what your body needs. And if you are not proactively tracking your macros and using that as a tool to help you reach your goals, you're going to be lost in the dark. And I don't know what to tell you. Do you need to track macros for the rest of your life? The answer is absolutely no. Of course you do not. But you need to learn the lay of the land. You need to get a feeling for what 1,200 calories feels like, what 1,500 calories feels like, what 2,000 calories feels like. Until you learn what that looks like, you are not going to see progress. You're always going to feel like you're guessing. And who watching this is sick of feeling like they're guessing? Like, do you want to hope to reach your goal, or do you want to know you're going to reach your goal? I don't know about you guys, but like when I have a goal, when I want something, right? Do I like kind of sort of maybe hope and wish that happens? Or do I make absolute certain, yes, I do want a one-on-one coaching. You want to reach your damn goal. I'm impatient. I don't know about you guys. I'm impatient. I hate waiting. I hate doing anything extra that I don't need to do. It's a waste of my time, and my time matters to me, you guys. Like, would you rather get to your goal in the shortest amount of time that is practically and reasonably possible, or do you want to be feeling your way through the dark? Guys, like seriously, you have to start looking at things in terms of scientific certainties. You have to start looking at things in terms of scientific certainties. And that's what I love about science. I don't have to guess if I'm going to reach my body fat goal. You know why? I know I'm going to reach my goal, because if I set up my numbers in such a way and I maintain a caloric deficit and I train with progressive overload doing a certain type of program over a set number of weeks, my results are not questionable, they're inevitable. And how many of you can say that? Who watching this can say, you know what, Christine? My results are inevitable. I know I'm going to reach my goal, period. And the end of sentence, end of story. A lot of you guys can't say that. And I know you can't say that because you're not sure if you're doing it right. Would I ever consider doing a macro program similar to what I do on the channel, just like on the nutrition side for those who have a workout plan? Yes, 100% yes. How do I deal with cravings while tracking? That is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. 1 second. When I'm dealing with cravings, I always check my water. Water. I'll do water, I'll do tea, I'll do leafy greens. When I'm feeling like my cravings are higher than normal, I would do arugula with citrus. Like I would do arugula with lemon before every meal, and that always takes my cravings away right away. If that doesn't work, I will do pickles for help my cravings. And then worst case scenario, eat more. If you're at the point where you are absolutely ravenous, I would encourage you to add like a protein shake or something. But the thing is, you also want to be mindful of the types of the types of foods that you're choosing with regard to volume, because some food carries more volume than others. If you're consuming refined sugars and starching, that's a snack. All right. So with that being said, my friends, I invite you to join my fall challenge. The fall challenge starts on Monday. I'm doing this challenge, you guys, and I really want you guys to strongly consider whether or not your goals are inevitable. And I say this out of tough love. I say this with my opinion as sucralose. Okay, here's my opinion on sucralose. Sucralose is a chlorocarbon. That means that it is a chlorine sucrose molecule, but it has chlorine bound to it. I believe the safety is questionable. I don't care how long it's been on the market. I'm not eating chlorocarbons. I'm not doing it. People will do it. It is 200 times the sweetness of sugar. That's why you only need such a tiny bit. It's an engineered sugar. From a scientific perspective, I think it's brilliant. The scientific mechanism behind it, I think, is brilliant. But to me, these artificial sugars F with your taste buds, because you can't consume something that is that sweet with zero caloric effect. And the reason why you can have zero caloric effect is that the same as stevia? No, they are completely different. I'll talk about stevia separately. They're completely separate. Sucralose is a chlorocarbon, chlorine. It's a sucrose molecule, sugar with chlorine bound to it. So when you consume something with sucralose, your body is seeing all the sugar. The problem is with the chlorine, your body excretes it because your body recognizes it as a toxin and says, oh shit, this is toxic, shouldn't be in the body, and that's why it passes through you, right through the small intestines, and is not absorbed, because your body's like, oh, this is a poison, let's get rid of it. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. You do what you want to do. I encourage you guys to begin to train your taste buds to not depend on overly sweet foods. And people, when they start seeing the way I eat, especially my friends and my close family members, I don't eat like sweet. Like, to me, blueberries and strawberries are about as sweet as food as I eat on the spectrum of sweetness. I can't handle sweets because I've trained my taste buds to not expect that level of sweetness. It doesn't work for me. So do what you want. I don't tolerate it in my diet, and it's not something I include. You make your coffee with Nespresso. I feel like I'm gaining weight. Should I cut it out? Coffee is not going to make you gain weight. If you feel like you're gaining weight, check your measurements, check your photos, weigh yourself, but it's not going to make you gain weight. Now, stevia is natural. Stevia comes from an actual plant. It's the leaves of a plant, and there are no calories in stevia. There are varying degrees of stevia with regards to quality, but stevia is perfectly fine. But I really want you guys to think about this, and this is my tough love gauge girl coaching coming to you right now, is the fact that you have to stop being willy-nilly. You have to stop doing the fla-di-da. If you want results, you gotta commit. You gotta pin it down, and it's not fun. It takes a long time. You have to be committed, and you gotta be in it for the long haul. You gotta be in it for the long haul. And I host these challenges, you guys. The fall challenge starts Monday. I'm doing this too. I host these challenges because it is hard to establish that consistency. It is hard to do this on your own. And unless you are committing and saying, this is what I'm gonna do, you're not gonna just naturally start doing this. What can be done about bloating even when you're dieting and exercising correctly? You may wanna consider an elimination diet and make sure that you're not consuming any inflammatory foods, anything with dairy, anything with gluten, anything with carbonation, anything with sugar alcohols. Anything with FODMAPs, FODMAPs, look up a FODMAP list, make a big difference. And guys, I am not saying this to be a bully, but you will not lose the weight by being half-assed. And if you're doing all the things I'm describing, even then, guys, we're talking about a pound a week. And that's about the safest you could realistically lose body fat without compromising muscle. A pound a week. And we all know how easy it is to gain the pounds. We all know how easy it is to gain the lbs. Speaking of which, do you guys know what LB stands for? If you are an OG, you might know this because you might have seen some of my old videos. But do you ever wonder why a pound is abbreviated LB and there's no L and there's no B in pound? P-O-U-N-D, there's no L and there's no B. Pound, LB, is abbreviation for Libra. Libra means book. And 1 pound as an LB, as we know it, is equivalent to the weight of 1 book, which is the King James Bible. So when you're at the gym and you see LB, it's relative to the weight of 1 King James Bible. That is where LB comes from. I need you guys to understand that the process is hard. The process is doable. It's doable. And I need to know who's ready to put in the work. When you get to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you get to the point where you know that there is a capable, more resourceful, more badass version of you inside you. Who watching this knows you know that you used to be more resourceful. You know you used to be on your P's and Q's. You know you used to be the person who ate healthy and had a routine and that felt good. And you don't, it's just, you pick your head up and you don't even know how you got here. And to anybody in that boat, I feel you. I feel you. I know what that feels like. And the only way to change it is to start. The only way to change it is to start where you are, to do something about it. Because listen, we could be guilty all day long. We can walk our heads in shame. We could be doing all those things feeling bad about it. But until you are ready to do something different, until you are ready to commit, until you are ready to be like, look, I cannot go another day not taking good care of myself. I can't go another day doing the same old, same old. I can't go another day listening to my bullshit. I can't go another day knowing that I'm capable of better and I'm not. I can't go another day knowing, because I know that when I'm organized, I know that when I'm eating right, I know that when I'm working out better, I'm less bitchy, I'm more organized, I'm on top of my A game. Everything is better when I'm on top of it. If that's you, join the fall challenge. I've made this so affordable, you guys. This is only $2.35 a day over 6 weeks. You get custom macros that change every 2 weeks. You get a workout in the Gage Girl Training app. You get a free gift of the 6-week shred for your macro type. It's available in Original and Paleo. It has recipes, it has meal plans. You get a live Zoom with me every Friday night. And those Zooms, it's like power hour. It's focusing, it's energizing, it's recharging, and you get to compete for prizes, you guys. So there is literally 1 day left to join. I would love to see you guys sign up. I would love to support you. I would love to pour into you guys. I would love to help you guys reach your goals, because there's never a good time to start, my friends. So make sure that you are nipping these excuses in the bud and doing something about it. If you got questions, you got concerns, shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll talk to you personally at Gage Girl Training. Otherwise, go to gagegirltraining.com to enroll. Peace out, friends. Have an awesome afternoon.